They say time makes people forget, but some men leave a mark no clock can erase. Long after the messages stop, long after the calls fade, a woman still remembers him, not because he was the most handsome or the richest, but because of how he made her feel. You see, women don't remember men who simply showed interest. They remember the ones who left a psychological imprint, the ones who awakened something deep inside her that no one else could reach. And in this video, you'll understand exactly what makes a man unforgettable in a woman's mind. Because once you know these 5 things, you'll stop chasing attention and start commanding memory. But before we go deeper, if you're new here, take a second to subscribe. Every week, we break down the truth about relationships, attraction, and the psychology behind why people do what they do. Not to play games, but to understand them. Now let's begin with the first thing a woman never forgets about a man. It's not his looks, it's not his money, it's his emotional control. When a man can stay calm in chaos, when he doesn't get pulled into her moods, arguments, or emotional storms, she feels something rare. Most men get reactive. They raise their voices, defend themselves, or try too hard to explain their side. But the man who remains composed, who looks her in the eyes and says, "I'm not going to argue," shows something deeper than dominance. He shows emotional mastery, and that, to a woman, is unforgettable. Because it triggers both safety and mystery. Safety, because she knows he won't lose control. Mystery, because she can't figure out how he's so grounded. When she's angry and emotional and you stay calm and centered, it flips a psychological switch. She begins to respect you differently. You become the calm in her storm, not another source of chaos. That kind of man doesn't just attract her, he anchors her. And once a woman feels that kind of stability, no matter who she meets after, no one compares. Now, the second thing a woman never forgets is how you made her feel seen. Not with compliments, not with flattery, but with presence. When you look at her, not at your phone, not around the room, but directly into her eyes, she feels it. When she talks and you listen, not to respond but to understand, it hits different. Because most men don't listen. They wait for their turn to talk. But the man who listens, truly listens, without judgment or distraction, makes her feel like she matters. And that's powerful, because every woman, no matter how confident she appears, carries insecurities. When a man sees through her mask and accepts her anyway, it disarms her. It creates a memory, not of words, but of feeling deeply understood. She might meet others after you. They might text more, flatter her more, buy her things, but she'll compare them to the one who saw her soul without needing to fix or change her. That's what emotional intelligence does. It doesn't just make you attractive, it makes you unforgettable. Now, the third thing a woman never forgets, and this one's subtle, is a man who walks away with peace. Most men leave with bitterness, revenge, or resentment. They post quotes, talk badly about her, or try to prove they've moved on. But the man who walks away silently, who wishes her well, doesn't chase, and doesn't explain himself, that man haunts her thoughts, because she expected anger, she expected a reaction. But what she got instead was dignity, and dignity, that's something rare. When a man walks away with peace, he shows her that his validation doesn't depend on her attention, that he's capable of letting go with grace. And that confuses her, because she thought she was the one with the emotional power. But now she's the one thinking, why isn't he angry? Why doesn't he care? And that's when curiosity becomes memory. She replays moments in her head. She wonders if you ever think of her. And though she may never admit it, the man who walks away with composure, instead of chaos, becomes the one she respects the most. Now the fourth thing, and this one separates boys from men. A woman never forgets a man who has purpose. When a man lives for something bigger than her, his mission, his dream, his self-mastery, he becomes magnetic. Because most men make the woman their entire focus. They revolve their lives around her emotions, her schedule, her approval. But the man with purpose doesn't chase validation. He chases growth. When you're that kind of man, she notices the difference. She might even try to distract you, test you, or pull you off track. Not because she's evil, but because she wants to see if your purpose is real. And when you don't bend, when you stay consistent, even when she's distant or moody, she feels something primal, admiration, because women don't fall for words. They fall for direction. They fall for a man who knows who he is and where he's going. That kind of man leaves a scar on her heart, not one of pain, but of reverence. Even years later, she'll tell people, he was different. She won't be able to describe it fully, but deep down, she'll know. He was the man who didn't lose himself for love. Now, the fifth and final thing a woman never forgets. A man who made her grow. This one cuts deep, because growth means change, and change is uncomfortable. But when a man enters a woman's life and challenges her to level up, to be more honest, more self-aware, more emotionally mature, she may resist it at first, but she'll never forget it. Maybe you held her accountable. Maybe you didn't tolerate her manipulative behavior. Maybe you refused to play her emotional games. Whatever it was, you forced her to see herself clearly. And that mirror is unforgettable. She might even hate you for it in the moment. She might call you cold, distant, or harsh. But later, when life humbles her, she'll remember you as the one who didn't enable her weakness. You inspired her growth. You see, women remember men who changed them. The man who made her laugh fades. The one who made her grow remains. Because growth leaves an imprint far deeper than pleasure. And this is where most men miss the point. They think being unforgettable means being overly nice, constantly available, or endlessly understanding. But what makes you unforgettable isn't your comfort, it's your impact. You're not supposed to make every woman like you. You're supposed to make the right one respect you. And respect doesn't come from agreeing with her emotions. It comes from standing firm in your truth, even when she doesn't like it. The unforgettable man doesn't need to prove himself. He doesn't chase, beg, or explain. He simply shows who he is through consistency, self-control, and silence. And that's what burns his image into her memory. Because here's the truth most men don't realize. A woman never forgets the man she couldn't emotionally control. The one she couldn't guilt trip. The one who saw through her games. The one who stayed grounded when she was testing his patience. That's the man she'll think about when the lights go out. That's the man whose energy lingers in her thoughts, even when she's with someone else. Because emotional power is unforgettable. So, if you want to be the man a woman remembers long after you're gone, don't try to impress her. Don't try to convince her. Just master yourself. Be calm when she's emotional. Be present when she's distracted. Be purpose-driven when she tests your focus. And be willing to walk away with dignity when your peace is no longer valued. That combination, calm, purpose, and strength, is rare. It's magnetic. And it leaves an impression that no flattery or charm can replace. So remember this, she won't remember your compliments. She'll remember your composure. She won't remember your gifts. She'll remember your growth. She won't remember the things you said. She'll remember how she felt around you. And when a woman feels both challenged and safe in your presence, you become a part of her story. Because real masculinity isn't loud. It's quiet confidence. It's walking through her storms without losing your center. It's the kind of strength that doesn't have to prove. It just is. And that kind of man, she never forgets him. So the next time you meet a woman, don't focus on being liked. Focus on being remembered, not for what you gave her, but for what you awakened within her. Because when you master that, you stop chasing women, and women start remembering you. If this message spoke to you, take a second to subscribe. Not for me, but for you. Because understanding yourself is the first step to mastering every relationship in your life. And the man who understands women begins by mastering himself.